Reggie? Is Reggie? We didn't hear Reggie's. He's not coming.
Oh, I do not.
I thought he was coming, but let's see. Instead of a fool. I'm good at those. Okay, thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Spalding Board of Commissioners March 26 zoning public hearing. I would ask that you please silence your cell phones and all other electronic devices. I would at this time ask that the Vice Chair, James Dutton from District 2, lead us in the invocation, and Commissioner Ryan Bolden from District 4 lead us in the pledge to the flag. Would you all please join me in prayer to our Lord? Our most kind and gracious Holy Father, we're so grateful for this opportunity to come together tonight as citizens and leaders of Spalding County. Father, please bless us that we can know thy will in all things, our lives, and how to be effective leaders. Father, please bless us with thy Spirit, that it can help us, guide us, and know how to draw closer to thee. Father, please bless all of those in harm's way tonight, our medical personnel, law enforcement, firefighters, and our military personnel dispersed around the world. Father, help them all return to their families safe and sound when it's their time. Father, we ask these blessings humbly in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. If you would, please join me in pledge allegiance to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 4, new business.
Mr. Chair, item number 4, new business public hearing application 2603Z, Wade Cannon owner, 1615 High Falls Road, parcel 220-01033, located in land lot 239 of the Second Land District, consisting of approximately 5.46 acres. The applicant is requesting to rezone from C2 manufacturing, R2 single-family residential, and AR1 agricultural residential to solely AR1 agricultural residential. The existing residential use will remain the same.
I would entertain a motion to open public hearing.
Motion to go into public hearing.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're now in public hearing.
Mr. Chair, there are 2 people who have signed up for this application. Wade Cannon, if you would please come forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
Wade Cannon, 1615 High Falls Road, Griffin, Georgia. I'm looking to have the property rezoned to AR1, which matches the current use the property is actually being used for. I found out there was a commercial zoning attached to the property recently from my bank while I was trying to get a home equity line of credit. And with that commercial zoning, you cannot get any sort of residential financial products. So after 19 years and 4 mortgages, I found out that I wasn't supposed to have any of that. That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cannon.
Mr. Chairman, next up is Amanda Canada. Thank you much. Please forgive me.
You're fine. Amanda Canada, 1364 Julep Lane, Westfield, Indiana. And we are asking to place a fiber optic utility building.
Might be, I think she signed up on the wrong one. That's the
Oh, you
third,
got me in the
I
wrong one.
think.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Okay,
We're good.
okay.
Sit back
Thank
down.
you.
We'll put you back on the right place.
I'd entertain that.
I think he should be good.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, that's all who've signed up for this application.
Do I have a motion to come out
Motion
of
to close
public hearing?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. We're now back. At this time, I would ask Mr. Allen if you'd please review the application with us and indicate the staff position and recommendation.
So this is a cleanup rezoning, plain and simple. We talked about the 3 different zonings that are on there now, and Mr. Cannon's problems with the bank trying to get the credit. So we definitely want to resolve that and hope to resolve some more of these in the future. But AR1 is the most proper zoning for this. This is houses on the AR1 piece. The entire piece would go to AR1 and has more than enough acreage to comply with AR1
Okay. And a recommendation?
approval.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I have a second. I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
We love it when people zone
Yeah,
into AR1.
We do.
That's,
All right, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Cannon.
Thank y'all. I'm so interested in fiber optic building.
Give me your address.
All right, item number 3.
Mr. Chair, number 3, under new business is public hearing application 2602Z, Emily and Thomas Utz, owners, 1135 Baptist Camp Road, parcel 244-02004A, located in land lot 169 of the 3rd Land District, consisting of approximately 1 acre. The applicant is requesting to rezone from R1 single-family residential to VN Village Node for conversion of a residential to office suite and a coffee shop. Application 2609V, Emily and Thomas Utz,
God
owners, 1135 Baptist Camp Road, parcel 244-02004A, located in land lot 169 of the 3rd Land District, consisting of approximately 1 acre. The applicant is seeking a variance on various village node development standards per Article 17A and parking paving standards per Appendix G, Section 102. These 2 public hearings can be combined in the public hearing with a motion and approval by the board.
Do I have a motion to
motion to go into public hearing.
and combine?
I'll second.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Combine.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries.
Mr. Chair, the first who has signed up for this application is Randy Wallace. Mr. Wallace, if you would please step forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
I'm Randy Wallace, and I live at 1302 Bugle Court. According to AI/ChatGPT, approximately 65% of the adult age population drink coffee. There are approximately 3,000 adults living in Sun City, and when completed and built out, there will ultimately be 4,500 residents, assuming 1.5 residents per household. If 65% of the current residents are coffee drinkers, as ChatGPT says, then there are roughly 2,000 folks that are required to either make coffee at home or drive over 5 miles to the closest retail coffee outlet, Dunkin' Donuts, or even further to Starbucks to get a really good cup of coffee. Now, I don't drink coffee, but my wife does. And I wouldn't know good coffee from bad, but, I'll have tea instead. I think that's gonna be on the menu. I'm advocating on behalf of all 2,000 Jittery Joes living in Sun City, and that you approve the establishment of my friend Alfred's Coffee Shop and Tea, located just outside the Sun City main entrance.
Thank you, Randy. Appreciate it.
James Smith. James Smith. William Weaver.
Good evening. My name is William Weaver. I live at 1117 Satilla Court in Griffin, also Sun City. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, thank you for this hearing today and the opportunity to speak. I am a coffee drinker, and I would welcome the opportunity for a coffee shop at this location. But additionally, we have a significant absence of professional services in our immediate area, and I think that would also be a strong consideration for the board to help out the 2,000, 4,000 residents of Sun City. So I would strongly encourage the commission to approve this application. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, that's all who have signed up for this application.
Motion to come out of public hearing.
I have a motion to come out of public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion or a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. We're out of public hearing.
Is the applicant here? Is he one of those two?
The applicant is here, yes, sir.
All right. We're covering two of these at the same time, right?
We are only going
Three.
to vote on one at a time.
We're
Okay.
gonna vote on one at a time.
Yes, but we're covering both of them. All right.
We can, yes, sir.
Mr. Allen?
So since we're voting on one at a time, I'll just cover the aspects of the rezoning right now in my comments. So as Dr. Ledbetter said, this is a proposed rezoning from R1 to VN Village Node. If you'll recall, the large commercial plaza about to come into the area soon across the street is also zoned Village Node. I went over the various options with the applicant here. He wants to have it's an existing house right now. He wants to convert it to a coffee shop and some office suites. So we discussed the options for that with commercial. If you look in your staff report, if Eva or Eli wants to scroll down to the Sun City character area, which is what this and Sun City are in. That's the character area on the future land use map that they are in. I'll go to the general characteristics for a second. It says the Sun City Heron Bay character area supports master plan developments intended to accommodate a mix of residential, commercial and recreation uses. It's primarily characterized by moderate density detached single-family uses with recreational amenities. If you go down further to the next page, thank you, where the red star is, two of them actually. One of the primary future land uses is commercial, such as medical office buildings, pharmacies, and neighborhoods serving retail. And then the compatible active zoning districts, the only ones that are commercial that are an option, if he chooses to go a commercial route with this, is PDD and VN Village Node. He could not go PDD because their size requirements for that particular zoning are way too large for his small lot. Therefore, the only avenue to pursue is Village Node. It's the only compatible active zoning in that Sun City area that he could actually choose to go for. So that's what we're talking about with the zoning. If you'll scroll back up to the purpose of VN zoning for a second. I want to cover something in there. A little bit more. Almost, there you go, that middle part there. I want to direct your attention to that second paragraph, the middle one in the red. The commercial area within the VN district shall be composed principally of neighborhood and community-related commercial uses requiring less than 30,000 square feet. The commercial area must be developed in a manner consistent with adjoining residential properties. So this certainly fits that bill, his request, and the fact that he is trying to do something a little more personal and intimate than your average commercial shopping center or whatever, and keeping it primarily looking like a house and not having a huge amount of paving out there. He wants to kind of have a more intimate setting for the coffee shop and the offices. So that is the purpose and intent of the applicant with the rezoning aspect of this. There are some approval conditions should you choose to approve it. And Planning Commission did recommend it for approval also last month.
Your recommendation?
For approval.
Okay,
I have multiple
conditions.
questions.
Yeah, me too.
okay. Let's start with,
Okay,
Commissioner.
I had a conversation with the county manager this afternoon. And while most of you guys weren't here, I, and maybe one other person in this room was here when the first village nodes were designated in this county. And son, I am confused today because it says active adult residential, but 15, 20 years ago, this was Village Node. That was a zoning for Village Node, and was also the area across the street when the presentation came to us from Pulte Homes, was that there would be nursing homes, skill level apartments, minimal nursing, memory unit, post office, laundry. All of these amenities were going to be across the street, where I understand now that the McElroys have bought property. So I'm not understanding how we go from, now according to the county manager, the McElroy property is zoned commercial. Am I correct? That is
correct.
not Village
That's what it
Node.
was zoned on, Q Public, yes, ma'am.
No, it's Village Node.
It shows on Q Public as C4.
That's probably a tax code,
It's a tax code.
but the actual zoning is the pink Village Node, which is a mixture of commercial and residential.
Okay, and I'm very familiar with that. How do we get, now, I know we can't ask Chad questions, but he is in the room. How do we get from a village node needs to be 25 acres or 50 acres or whatever, to now we have a 1 acre piece of property that is not even contiguous to the village node, that is in the middle of residential properties on 3 sides, and we're gonna turn that piece of property into a village node? Then secondly, if that were to happen, why would we give someone the ability to take a spot zoning and then give them multiple variances because they won't meet the village node criteria? That's retarded. I mean, not anything directed at anybody, but everything about that is backwards.
So,
There must be another zoning. People have home occupations that they can do, and if you want to operate a commercial business in a residential neighborhood, You need to have all of the things that are required to do that, including the safety, the sewer. If you have food, coffee, whatever, there are sewer requirements to how your waste goes.
That was exactly my thought, was why are we rezoning it? Why not give a special exception, home occupation business?
Because if you're gonna
you see what I'm
have
saying?
office suites, there is a parking requirement.
Yeah.
If it's one suite, you're required to have 2 or 4 spots. If it's 2 suites, it goes. Then if you have a business where people, because part of the problem with home occupation is if there are people coming in and out of the driveway, that's a problem. So I'm not really understanding how we got from A to B and why Village Node is appropriate here. I'm really confused about that, and I would love for somebody to share to me.
I'd be happy to. So, to touch on the home occupation part, why you can't have a general home occupation there with a special exception is nobody will be living in the house anymore. It'll be considered a commercial building, not a residential building. You gotta have somebody living in a house for it to be a home occupation, so that's out as an option. I was surprised myself, and I double checked, triple checked, quadruple checked, there is no size requirement, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Galloway, on the VN zoning standards. So you could have a property this small zone VN, not true of PDD, which was an option listed as well. So the only option, if this is gonna go commercial, is pursuing that VN zoning and still be compatible with the Sun City area.
So I can tell you, and you can go back and look, that the intention of the Board of Commissioners then, which I know you guys are not susceptible to that, was not to create a village node zoning so people could individually become a village node. The idea was to create housing and amenities in a bundle so it was contained, so that the growth would not sprawl. We'd have it contained in a certain area, and then you could still have low-density residential in the adjacent area. So my problem with this is that, first of all, I don't feel like it meets the village node criteria, and if it requires all of these variances, it certainly doesn't meet it as far as I'm concerned.
I was also surprised, and it's too late for this, and we can address this when we revise the comp plan, that neighborhood commercial was not listed as compatible, but nevertheless, it's not. So, once again, the only avenue to pursue with this, if it will be approved, is to go that VN route.
I'll wait for, I have something else to say, but I'm good. My questions were
Okay, James?
answered.
It just seems like this is a
I thought
commercial
we
use.
had a minimum,
I'm sorry.
I thought we had a minimum acreage requirement, though I'm sitting here going
I
through the
look high and
ordinance
low.
now.
Yeah.
And I don't see one. David, why is C1A not acceptable?
It's not compatible with the comp plan listings for Sun City and Heron Bay.
But isn't that outside of Sun City?
No, ma'am,
I mean, that
It's not
entire,
gonna be outside the character area.
those three houses on that side and the McElroy thing about to happen are still in that Sun City area. Then once you go down further down Baptist Camp, it's not, but.
so my concern with this is that the people that were there before Sun City were there before Sun City. And Sun City, and I don't care who gets pissed off about this, does not usurp people who already were living there. So again, you're asking to put a piece of commercial property right in between 2 residential properties. One that has a beautiful garden in the back, and the other that has an in-ground pool. And you want a commercial business that's gonna help 2,000 people in Sun City, per this man, get coffee every day. I don't care, if it's 200 people, that's too many people driving in out of a residential neighborhood off of Baptist Camp Road. I don't understand the sense of this zoning. Village Node is inappropriate for this.
Other comments? James?
If we were, I like the idea of having commercial availability right at the entrance of Sun City Peachtree. I think that's very appropriate on the southwest corner. I don't see why it wouldn't be appropriate on the northwest corner. But like, if it's commercial, then it should be commercial. You know what I mean? Like, we're making, this is a commercial location. I don't see how we can call it something else and have it be anything other than a legal fiction. Like, what we're making is a commercial coffee shop and office suites. And that's fine. I think that's an appropriate use for it. Like, I'm not opposed to doing that, but I don't know if Village Node is the way to do it. And the same thing with the property to the southwest. I mean, it's obviously going to be a commercial complex. I don't understand why we're like trying to pretend like it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously going to be commercial uses. It's, 100% commercial uses. You follow me? Like,
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I think that's the great spot for it. But like,
I'm fine.
get it.
I would be fine with that too, as a commercial zoning. But I would also want the same requirements. You need to have it big enough for a vehicle to turn around in. You need to have it big enough for a fire truck to be able to turn around in. You need to have appropriate parking spaces. It needs to fit totally with the character of what the community is. And then you have to still address that you're pulling off of Baptist Camp Road. When we talk about our commercial crossroads, that always happens with the property that's on the end. So what we're doing is passing by the property on the end and going to the next property and talking about commercial crossroads. When we have the authority to change that zoning to commercial, we have the ability to do spot zoning.
That is correct. You're not, well, it's not a spot.
I
wouldn't
call
say
it
it's a spot, but I would, you are not bound by the application's request.
So I mean, there is an option, but for me, there are going to be requirements that go along with them that have to meet the commercial requirement.
yeah, and I'm just worried. I don't know if Village Note is right for this. I get staff's like recommendation. I understand the thought process there, but I mean, you can paint it blue, but it doesn't make it water. You know what I mean? Like, this is a commercial zone, and I just. That said, we haven't really looked at the implications of changing this to commercial, so I don't know if it's quite ready. Again, I think it's a great idea. I think he's going to make a ton of money. You're going to have a zillion people there, but we don't want to start some sort of cascade of zoning or something that creates a problem later, and that's the whole point of zoning. So it's not that we don't want this to happen. I don't know if we're at a point to really make the decision on doing it one way or the other, or what I'm saying.
All right, so let's make sure I got it. We think that what the intent is okay.
Yeah.
Trying to put it into Village Node versus commercial is an issue for us, but we're not quite sure if the commercial ramifications are all taken into account. Correct?
Probably the closest equivalent then, even though like that's not listed, I'm bound to that, but y'all are not. It would be the neighborhood commercial,
Commercial C1A.
C1A.
So, and my concern would be for that spot, what is the worst thing that could come up in C1A? Because there's no guarantee that's gonna be a coffee shop. I know what you're saying, but, so if that is sold next week or next year, what is the worst that can come on that property under C1?
A Dollar General.
Probably.
So,
I mean, they wouldn't be able to fit because it's only 1 acre, but like.
but I'm just saying, I'm always
Convenience
looking
store.
at what is the worst case scenario for
Great.
whoever's living there later if this changes.
And that's what I'm saying.
You can condition it to the use as well.
Yes. You could say that
You
use
can.
and no
Yes,
other
but all those
use.
conditions can fluff off if done with the correct amount of lawyer tricks. So, again, I think there's got to be a way to.
I remember when Alan McCallum tried to get Village Node at the current McElroy property.
We
that
required
was-
him to have a
that
certain
was
amount of
denied,
acreage.
And he was told to come back with a certain amount of acreage.
Mhm.
I'm
Right?
I'm surprised that there is not a restriction on the amount of acreage for Village Node, because Village Node presumes mixed use. And you can't have mixed use on a single tract of an acre, or whatever this tract size is, which is what,
Right on an acre.
1 acre.
1 acre.
All right, let's, right now, we don't like Village Note. We don't like that zoning. And we're not quite sure if C1A or whatever we want to talk about, what the restrictions are on it.
You could restrict the use to just what he's requesting, yes. Interesting note about that, if it is C1A, most or all of his variances go away.
Yeah.
What about like cars driving in the parking lot stuff in C1A? Is any of that required?
I mean, there's a couple things that's required for all commercial uses, no matter what the zoning is. But we've been out there with TJ and Captain White and Mike Bird and hashed out a lot of these circulation issues going on out there. He's gonna comply with TJ's width of the driveway, the turning radii, things of that nature. And then we had conversations with Captain Rocky White and Mike Bird and him about the fire access and all that. So we got that hashed out. So there's been about 3 site visits with county officials where they're hashing out the circulation out there.
I don't want to ruin the plan. I think it's a great idea. So, as much as we don't like doing this, maybe we table to make sure that if we go to C1A, he can still do what he wants to do there, that still works, and then we come back next month.
His use would definitely is within the permitted uses of C1A, yes.
Yeah.
It's just,
C1A.
you can close the door though on what Ms. Flowers Taylor is saying about other unwanted uses. You can close the door on that with your motion if you choose.
So on the back side of that property to the right of the driveway is a big drop off. So as a commercial building, they will have a stormwater requirement. They will need to have some retention because they have residents. Y'all looking at me like a deer in a am I out of
If
track?
they exceed a certain threshold of pavement, yes, but with his use of this rock, it would be a permeable surface where the water would go through and he would not.
So where in Spalding County do we have pervious surface that someone is using as a driveway? Commercial.
I use it a lot, especially the geogrid type stuff he was, talking about with the plastic. It'll hold up a heap of stuff. It just, like in Sonoya. Have you ever been to Sonoya in the back? They have like a block grid that's, will withstand a lot of weight and it's pervious and it allows, I mean, it looks good. I mean, I like the look of it and it's strong enough to drive a D9 across it. I mean, it's.
The applicant and I were discussing a site in the city on Maple Street that had gravel. And the city has a lot of these converting a house into a business type situations, a lot more than the county. But he was referring to one on Maple Street where it had decorative gravel, so.
So, but the city has clear stormwater capabilities. So whether you gravel or whether you pave, your lot in the city's not gonna be an acre generally. So it's, that stormwater piece is there. But when you say under C1, all of these variance requirements go away, the driveway requirement's not gonna
Yes,
go away.
that will not, the paving for the parking, whether or not y'all approve that, will not. But the thing about the sewer with the VN and the thing about the, I'm out of blank. The architectural standards for the building, that will go away. So about a good half of them would go away.
So I don't really know the answer to this. The building is already constructed, but part of our commercial requirement is that that the building has to have some masonry, or is that only if it's a new building?
That would typically be a new building. This is as we said before, this is kind of a unique situation. He's wanting to keep it kind of with that residential feel, even though it would be commercial. So with it, yeah, you're right, mostly with a new building, you have all that requirements.
So technically, all of those requirements won't go away. If they're serving coffee, or if they're serving donuts, if they're putting butter on a piece of toast, they have to have a certain kind of way to empty their food items, their coffee, their whatever it is that they're preparing.
Yes, there's
So,
quite a
so
few
that's
physical
not gonna go
requirements.
away. So I just
Okay.
wanna make sure that when you say all of this goes away, it really doesn't go away.
I'm talking about design items, stuff you see on the outside, all the interior, physical, structural things like exit signs and things like that, no, they would have to comply with all
Handicap
that.
ramp.
Yes, all that they would have to comply with, just like any other business.
Well, now, they've given us a site plan?
Yes, ma'am, they have.
Because I couldn't see on the site plan how the building is going to be designed, because it says it wants to, there is a desire for office suites and a coffee shop, and the house is how many square feet? 1,500? So I'm just
About
trying to
there, yes.
figure out what, I know with one place that we had on Old Atlanta Road, they had built several suites, and there was no place for people to park their cars,
So the footprint will stay the same. The inside will be partitioned off and to separate it into a coffee house and one or more office suites. There won't be much exterior changes to it. It'll be mostly interior. It'll be,
What is the parking requirement for that kind of square footage for any office space? There's a minimum, I'm sure.
there is. Let me look that up for you.
So I just, from what I saw, and as I'm looking at this track, I'm really not seeing parking spaces. I'm really not even seeing how an emergency vehicle would turn around. The driveway is this is supposed to make the driveway wide enough for a car to come in and out of, which means as it stands, the driveway is not wide enough for two vehicles to pass.
Right, so that was one of his approval conditions, that it had to be two-way, 24-foot wide, which he's going to add. You see the white part in there beyond the little darker circles on either side. That's the actual concrete. That'll be widened to 24 feet wide.
That's the roadway.
Yes, but the actual, once you drive into there and you're following along that concrete drive, then the parking stalls themselves, and this is like he has it in his Fayetteville business, will park off into the decorative red gravel on either side of that concrete drive.
Okay, so if you park onto the concrete drive, right to left, you go in, you get your coffee, you come back out. How you get out?
Back from just like you back out of a parking space right now, you back into that, like Kroger, you back into that drive area, which would essentially be the concrete driveway, back into that and go out.
And back out?
No, go out forwards, but you would, let's say, you see where that 20 feet dimension is on that left side? If that was your car, you'd back on the concrete driveway toward the house and then go out the normal way out on the Baptist Camp Road.
So you're saying that the parking is going to be right angle parking from the street? Because see, I can't, in my brain, I was imagining that this is gonna be some kind of diagonal parking, because when you come in, your car is gonna be facing that way. So,
It is best to have it, from what you're saying, and I see what you're saying, it's best to have it at 90 degrees, because if it's angled, let's say it was angled facing away from Baptist Camp and facing toward the house, you would have to back out and back on the Baptist Camp. Well, this way, if it's 90 degrees, we almost need some little cars out here,
so how
backing
would,
out and like you do at Kroger and then going forward. So the angle parking wouldn't really work.
so with that surface being impervious, how would I know what space I'm parking in?
They would mark it out with some concrete bumpers and things like that. Couldn't really
So
be
there would be
sprayed.
some concrete out there.
Well, some those little movable bumpers like you have at events and stuff to kind of, guide people along. You could mark it out that way, but you couldn't stripe it like normal parking spaces, because that part would be the decorative gravel.
Okay, so I got my questions answered, sorry, most of them. I'm okay with a motion to table. I think we're not there yet.
I agree. All right, are you making a motion
I
to
would like to
table?
make a motion to table so that we can figure out
James,
what's
are
gonna be
you
the
making
best
a
zoning
second?
for this.
Second. I just
All
wanted
right,
her to finish her
motion and a second. All
Till the
those in
next
fa-
meeting.
Yeah.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0.
We also get direction to come back with an ordinance that sets a minimum track size for Village Node.
Absolutely.
So moved.
I don't know how that got pulled out.
Yes. Please have that as a direction.
Do you have a second?
I don't know if we need it as a motion. We probably just need consensus.
That'll work. You're okay with the
This
consensus?
direction's fine, but I wanna make certain we
Okay.
have authority to go.
All right, now,
So I rescind my motion.
so we
Thank you, sir.
table the first, and that takes care of the second.
It does. It takes care of number 5.
Okay,
So
So
that
we'll-
would be moot.
That will be moot. Yes, sir.
item number 6.
Again, I think it's a good use, so we just gotta make sure we're
Yes,
doing it.
yes.
Just as a note, there is no, Board of Appeals zoning meeting scheduled for April due to some conflicting circumstances, so this will be.
Oh, yeah, ACCG.
Late May before it is heard again by this board.
Sorry.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, item number 6, public hearing application 2603S, Anthony Cornacchia, owner, 755 High Falls Road, Griffin, Georgia, 30223, located in land lot 177 of the Second Land District, portion of parcel number 119-02047, consisting of 1 acre. The applicant is requesting a special exception to build a utility substation on the C2 zone parcel per section 1503B7.
I'd entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
Motion to go to public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're now in public hearing.
I do believe Amanda Canada would like to speak on this.
Now, Amanda Canada, 1364 Julep Lane, Westfield, Indiana. And we are asking to put a fiber optic utility building on this piece of, section of the parcel. That's it.
First.
Who is we?
Well, the landowner and 59 Design Group and the client MMI.
Street, and that's Second Street.
Okay,
Yep. Okay.
thank you. Next.
I see.
Next up is Taylor Dutton.
Evening, Commissioners.
Evening, Taylor.
Evening.
Hey.
So, special exceptions are really important.
Name and address for the record, please.
Taylor Dutton, 161 West Ellis Road. Thanks. So, special exceptions are important. However, we are seeing a lot of data centers and other uses of large tracts of that kind. They involve cutting down lots of trees and removing the rural nature of the county. I think there should be a balance between that and the current rural nature of the county, namely gun ranges. Currently, there's no way to make a gun range, yet companies like these can come in and cut down a bunch of trees and build stuff that's never been done in Spalding County, much less that involves a constitutionally protected right. And over the past year or so, we have actually spoken with David Allen on many occasions, since last April even, about this kind of zoning, that there's a lack of that in the area. And David has made us aware that there's currently documents and forms pending county commissioner approval in regards to that line of zoning. We are still waiting on this to be brought to your attention almost a year later. So decided to come and just bring that to the attention of the commissioners with some other like-minded individuals here from both our community and the surrounding communities that are interested in helping Spalding County grow in this aspect. Currently, you can go shoot in your friend's backyard. However, having somewhere structured for training for both law enforcement and civilians would greatly benefit Spalding County. Not only would gun range zoning help the local citizens, but it would be a great revenue generator for the county as well. Spalding County could import lots of taxes, so to say, from the surrounding counties and drive local business revenue with hotel and revenue taxes used to fund the tourism in the area. So it's not just one specific entity or group that would be benefiting from this, but the entire county. I've met with many law enforcement professionals over the past few years, and there is a desperate need for a training facility of this type in the area. Everyone from local law enforcement to the GBI and even federal agencies are looking for newer, better places to train to keep us safe, and Spalding County would be the perfect fit for that facility of this nature. In summary, basically, there's nothing on the books about gun range zoning, so there's nothing to apply for or look at, and we were just very interested in just having that, because that's not only beneficial to our county, but it would also take all the liability off of the county itself. You guys would not be responsible for anything that happens like that, and it would also generate a lot of revenue for this county, basically importing the taxes from the surrounding counties. So we were just hoping to bring that to the board's attention. Though I think this is great. I wasn't necessarily saying this is bad, but to keep the rural aspect of the county in place while also protecting the Second Amendment rights, which is equal rights for everyone in the area, just to have that in place for future benefit of the county.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thanks, sir. Joe McDonald.
Good evening. My name is Joe McDonald, 109 Hammond Road. Mr. Dutton just gave a great presentation that I wholeheartedly agree with. One thing I'd like to bring to the commissioner's attention, Cherokee Rose is just in the 1996 Olympics, where Cherokee Rose is right now, was a training facility for Olympic trap shooters. Under the new management, they are revitalizing that shooting range. That will be one of 3 Olympic trap ranges between Nashville, here, and Tampa. And I can tell you, having been involved with youth shooting sports programs in the past, that will be a huge revenue generator. So having an ordinance, having zoning on the books, and you're going to be able to bring in so much revenue because these kids travel from all over the U.S. I even drove mine to Colorado Springs to compete. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. Thank you.
Beaver gone.
Thank you, Joe.
Oh, I agree.
Anybody else?
Emma Dutton. Emmy, please forgive me.
I was also kind of wanting to speak. Oh, sorry, 161 West Ellis Road. I was kind of also wanting to speak on that same front, and I think what you're doing is great. Totally perfect. Yeah, it's good. But I just kind of wanted to encourage for us to get something kind of on the list of us talking about this for the gun range, for getting a gun range zoning or ordinance in place. I think it's really important because we don't have one now, and I think it would help unlimit the development of a safe and organized gun range if we had one, so that we could have some training. I know a lot of myself included, but a lot of women that I know are wanting a place in Spalding County where we can practice and feel safe with using our guns and with our weapons. We have a lot of moms who are wanting to feel confident in protecting themselves and their children when they're not with their husbands. And so I think it would really help if we had kind of something, I guess, to get like something in a list, something to talk about it. We can move forward with getting some ordinance going for that, and that's really all I had to say. But yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, that's all who've signed up for this application.
Do I have a motion to come out of public hearing?
Motion to come out of public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. We're now out of public hearing. Mr. Allen?
So back to the utility substation. It is on 26 acres at 755 High Falls Road. As Ms. Canada, the first speaker, was saying, this involves leasing out a 1 acre piece of property for a utility substation. I believe it's for fiber optic, if I'm not badly mistaken. These kind of things are fairly common along the play. They don't actually own the piece of property. They lease it for a certain amount of time. The actual acreage that would be Within the fence is 1 acre. There'll be various transformers, things of that nature within the fence. It will be shielded from view by landscaping and things of that nature. There will be a separate access drive to it, but it will not be the primary use of the property. So this is, I want to stress that, this is a accessory use in the corner and will not be spread out over the entire property. And in fact, the approval conditions for this stipulate that it cannot be expanded in any way without further permission from this board to expand it if that time actually came. So it's limited to the fiber optic substation at a 1 acre lease.
And your recommendation?
Approval as was planning commission.
Commissioner Flowers Taylor?
With conditions.
Yes.
With conditions.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. No.
With conditions.
Okay.
The conditions, first of all, how tall is this building gonna be?
Ma'am,
12 feet.
12 feet.
It's a pre-manufactured building.
This is my district, and I have heartburn with this lot. Because this lot is covered in the part of this lot that I can see from the street. It's covered in construction debris. It has, I don't know if they're working, it has, what do you call the thing like this that you're on the water with? Jet skis, boats, RVs, and it had multiple cars on there. I don't know if they were junk cars or whatever. And we had some problems 5 or 6 years ago just getting the building locked because we had a homeless problem down there. That building has not been cleaned up. So I have some real concerns about allowing an accessory use on a piece of property that doesn't even have a primary use, because really what it's primarily being used for is junk collection. So I would not have a problem putting a substation there, but it would only be if they clean that lot up. I live less than 2 blocks down the street from it, so every time I drive down the street, I see it. It's been an eyesore. It's been an eyesore for more than 10 years. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not feeling it.
Okay. David, any thoughts on what you just said?
I mean, we could, as far as them, it would not be them due to the fact it's a lease, but we would have to, get with the actual owner, Mr. Cornacci, I believe it is, and code enforcement to do a cleanup of the property.
Is there a way to,
In my opinion, you can put a condition on it that requires the cleanup of the primary tract.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is before you can break ground or get a certificate of occupancy or something, you've got to come into conformity, that's the word I'm looking for, with all code enforcement issues, including cleaning up the crap that's back there. Check.
Hey, I just want to see it cleaned up.
Amen.
I don't got a problem with them putting anything there, but they don't need to put anything there if they cannot maintain what's supposed to be there anyway.
My question is the legality of us getting to approve this. Not that I don't think it should come before us, but like, if Georgia Transmission wants to come in and build a substation, they don't have to ask our permission. They just come in and go, we're building here.
GTC is going to, or EMCs, of which GTC is the principal trade organization for them, they have condemnation rights. And
Well, that's
they
what I'm
would
saying.
not necessarily be subject to our zoning ordinance. But if I'm correct, Ms. Kennedy, MMI is a subsidiary of Facebook, isn't that correct? Okay. And I believe it's Middle Mile Infrastructure. All right.
So it's not a
they are
utility doing
not
this, this is a
utility.
private.
Correct.
Okay.
What I would also like to see, and maybe I'm missing that here, I can't really tell, it says High Falls Road coming from First Street. That is not necessarily the primary entryway, but this is abutting the property that is adjacent to 7 residential properties. So I don't know if there are trees there or not. Are we clear cutting? There's just a few more questions I think that need to be answered before we decide that is
Oh,
the corner.
that's the, hold on, go back up to the building.
Well, I do cover that in approval condition
be
number
that?
1, if you want me to read it out.
I read the conditions, but I'm just saying of all of the spaces on that piece of that parcel, it's butting up to the very area where people live.
So the plan was, if it was to be approved, you're right, there are trees out there which form kind of a natural buffer. I would go out there and evaluate where it's gonna be, and of course, the acre would be cleared within the fence, but to evaluate the trees outside of that to see if they're enough, and in areas where they're not, they would have to plant more trees.
Will it be a full 1 acre cleared? Cause
That's-
that,
yes.
what we're seeing here, that's definitely not a full acre.
I
inside
believe,
that
Ms.
fence.
Canada, the fenced areas is not the 1 acre?
I don't think we don't typically.
Ms. Canada,
Come to the
if you
mic.
come to the mic, please.
MMI is obtaining a 1 acre easement, but we don't build 1 acre in at this time. If they
So it'll be
chose-
the same size of what we're seeing there.
Yes,
like the-
that's what they place on day 1. If in the future they come up and they need more with.
Well, you'll have to come back.
AI is requiring a lot more of these, we would then come back and ask if we're allowed to add more. So
I think it's your cell
typically-
phone coming.
Sorry, typically, when we do ask for more, because see, you can see there's 1 building and then a pad. So in the next couple of years, when they can actually build more buildings, they'll place a second building within the fence in this fenced-in area. So I think it's like 80 by 110, if I'm remembering correctly, is the fenced-in area currently.
Oh, it's the fenced in area.
It's the fenced-in area. And then we have landscaping, whatever requirements for landscaping to go around for the buffering. And I believe with the setbacks, there's a setback line. And then I think I'm like 65 feet to the fence from the property line. And then the building is another 15 feet on top of that away. And then the generators are on the far side. The building doesn't make noise. The generators are backup generators in case power goes out, the fiber doesn't stop going, because people don't like that. Then the backup generator will come on. Other than that, the backup generator does not come on. And so we'll do some landscaping that's required. I believe what we had presented, we had been asked to do a little more, or to make it more, we'll do what
I
needs
can
to be
field
done.
evaluate it.
Right. And I know what part of the property you're talking about that's all trashy, and I don't have a problem with requesting it to be cleaned up, except we only have access to this 1 acre. We don't have access to the rest of this man's property.
Well, that would be on the property owner.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
And he doesn't get your money until he cleans it up, so
That's correct.
I think he wants the money, right?
I think he'll get it up.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Anything else?
And we've been trying to get the rest of that property cleaned up for years.
This is a good,
And
Yeah, I
the
think this
drive
is-
entrance is not the main entrance off of the road. There's, between the property, there is an existing, I think, dirt gravel path that we will beef up and make whatever criteria we need to make for this entrance. And it will not be accessed, it'll only be accessed for maintenance purposes. And MMI does majority of their stuff through AI and everything done remotely for their stuff inside the building. So it's very rare that people will be going to this site. Okay?
Checks out. Okay. Can we talk in general terms about buffers right fast? I know that along the AKB corridor, we've been talking about planted buffers and what the requirements are, and this as well, but there's one thing to do a buffer so that there's trees or, kind of a hedge so that we're blocking line of sight. But I think ideally, and this might not be germane to this, but I think ideally we could do one better. I think we could do a buffer of line of sight, but especially down AKB on the 16 side, I think we should add a requirement or maybe an aspirational requirement of the buffer on that side be magnolias. That's the new state flower. And I think thus driving in, you'd have this sort of, more sort of grand entranceway. They're evergreens. They cover the, they'll get big. They'll cover what's behind them just like we wanted. But then you'll get this big sort of, does that make sense?
But doesn't it take a long time for a magnolia to grow? I mean, I've got one in the front yard and.
They take longer than a Leland
Sure.
cypress, but they also last longer.
David's area of expertise. Go ahead, David.
It does, but as he says, it's more durable than a Leyland.
And they bloom.
And if
And
you
like,
put
if
it
you-
as a
if you-
condition of zoning, it's no longer aspirational.
I just, maybe we look at the overlay language and say, hey, we want the, imagine if we had that on 1941 come in south, and instead of seeing what you currently see with shenanigans going on, you sort of had this like, wouldn't that be, I think that'd be much more, anyway. And since they're not built up out there, but that's coming, maybe now we go, hey, let's sort of make this,
It's a good idea.
not just hide it, but make it beautiful. Anyway,
Well,
I don't,
Okay. All right.
thinking out loud, sorry.
Do I have motion to approve? With conditions?
I would like to make a motion to approve the request for the fiber substation, utility station, with the following conditions: that the lighting meets our lighting requirements, that it's directed away from housing, that we verify that there is some sort of vegetative berm between the property lines of the 1, 2, 3, I think one of those is a church, 4, 5, 6 properties that are adjacent to that, that the main property be cleaned up of all of the debris, the junk cars, everything that is on that property, since that property has no primary use. It is not listed as a place to store stuff. So, did I leave anything out?
Yeah, come full conformity with all code enforcement, you know what I'm saying, measures, requirements, whatever.
That's my motion.
All right, I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. Item number 8.
Mr. Chair, number 8, review and approval of concept plan revision for the Heron Bay Highway 155 Village Node.
There's no public hearing required. Mr. Allen, would you like to give us a review of the application? And
Yes,
then-
ma'am, or ma'am, sorry, sir, sorry, it's been a long evening.
Yeah,
I do just have a brief introduction, and then Mr. Chad Jacobs has a PowerPoint presentation to go over some of the details with you. So this is a revision to the previous concept plan in Heron Bay. It shows more open space, less commercial. It provides for a park. So I will let him go further with the details on that. But this is the revision before you, required Planning Commission review and Board of Commissioners review.
okay. Mr. Jacobs? Welcome back.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Ms. Flowers Taylor, when you were talking about Village Node,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
he was our
Add
expert at that
name
time.
and address, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chad Jacobs on behalf of Minerva USA. We're located at 2292 Henderson Mill Road in Atlanta, Georgia, 30345. So it's a pleasure to be here with you this evening. So what we have, as David indicated, is a concept revision for the village node located basically at the Heron Bay area to kind of drill down to where we're at. Obviously, this shows you it's there west of 155. It's just south of the Henry County, Spalding County line. There we go. Got it. Sweet. All right. So, as indicated, the property is currently zoned VN, so we're not asking for any type of rezoning with this, hence no need for the a public hearing. And the properties that surround this predominantly are zone VN as well. To the west, you have a little bit of PDD, and again, all that's a part of the Heron Bay development. Going backwards. There we go. So what this involves, the area that is outlined in red, that is the village node itself. It's approximately 145 acres in total. The area that we're going to be discussing this evening that's going to involve the minor revisions is the portion that's outlined in blue, and that's approximately 23.6 acres. this is the new proposed concept plan. So basically, from the site plan that you just saw, we've just now flipped this over on its side. So again, to your far left is south, to your far right is north. Just want to indicate the access points are remaining the same. So to the south, you have the access point there on Chesapeake Bay. In the center, where the commercial area is, that's remaining the same as currently approved into the center of the node at the commercial area. But to the north there's a third access point that we're adding in. And that would be a public access point for a new park area. And I'll go into a little bit more detail with that. So to break this down really quick, essentially the revisions that
Hold on,
involved.
hold on, can you go back to that? I'm sorry. I don't
Yeah,
mean to interrupt.
absolutely.
I just want to look at that map again.
Yeah.
So this is different than the other map that you just showed us.
Correct. Here, I'll go back again.
So you see how
So the area in blue is what we're discussing. So nothing in red is changing. That's all currently being developed out. The area in blue is what we're discussing this evening. So that's track 2 that consists of approximately a little under 24 acres.
A lot less commercial.
So what we're changing is, so that area there where you see the 54 residential lots, currently that's 6 flex space buildings, which involve ground level office, and then upstairs live work, essentially apartments that have a greater ability of being rental. So we're eliminating those 6 buildings, which is approximately 68,000 square feet of flex space for the 54 residential single-family lots.
how many residential units were on it before?
So in this area, so under the flex space, which with the live work, you're allowed to have 10 of those units within each building, so that would have been 60 of those. So you're dropping it from 60, which would have a high possibility of rental with those areas, to 54 single-family residential. Then to the, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm still with you. So the property that's facing 155 is the commercial, that on the south, I guess that's the south.
Yes, ma'am.
South. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 commercial.
So you have 4 commercial out parcels. Those 4 out parcels are still remaining. 3 of them are gonna remain as commercial. 1 of them, in conversations with the fire department, we're going to donate that to the fire department for a future fire station. Obviously, as this area continues to develop, this is where the plan focuses the majority of the density and the growth in this quadrant of the county. Over time, there will obviously definitely need to be a need for fire protection in that area. So giving that parcel to the fire department, which they, when we had conversations with them, they said absolutely, yes, sure, we would love to have it for future growth. That'll help to keep your ISO ratings low as this area continues to develop out.
Don't we already have a plot right on Teeman?
You do. You do.
Now, remember, across the street here is where we're gonna put the entire Wilson Farms thing, which is
So
just,
backing up, so yeah, so you see there,
The-
across to the east is North Talladega. So obviously as that develops out,
as I remember, that's 1,100 or so,
correct.
1,100 houses, memory care, all of that stuff. So
1137 plus 250 independent living units, and then 9 acres of commercial there.
I think the need for the fire department is probably there.
So it's
what-
looking down the road, obviously, as this area develops out, to have have the ability to be able to come in and provide fire protection for your more dense area that you have in the plan.
What
That's not the
size
decision we're
single-family
trying to make
residentials-
today. That we're not, yeah, okay.
What size single-family residentials are you hoping to go to? Like, what's the lot size? What's the?
The lots are 6,000 square feet. It would be essentially the same as what we, and actually I have some homes. This is the same type homes as within North Talladega. That's what we're proposing.
So you're just taking the design from North Carolina across the street?
Yes, with respect to the single-family residential. So same architectural standards as were applied to North Talladega, we would do the exact same with those. And again, this is a synopsis of kind of what's changing with respect to this. Again, 68,000 square feet of flex space for the 54 single-family lots, the 4 commercial out parcels for 3 commercial out parcels that will remain, plus the future fire station. And then probably more importantly, in this current plan, there was 6.1 acres set aside, which to the immediate right there, that green area to the right, it was originally planned as a school. And in our conversations with the school board, they indicated that, you know, given the fact that this is essentially right at the Henry County line, it's literally adjacent to the Henry County line, it really doesn't make sense for them to do a school site here. So it was recommended to us to reach out to Parks and Recreation, have a conversation with them, see kind of what would make sense for this area. We had some really good conversations with them, did a couple of designs, looked at doing a couple soccer fields there, and didn't quite kind of get it the way that Greg kind of wanted to see that. And then ultimately what they really liked is this 6-acre passive park. Has walking trails, pavilion area, and playground. This is very similar to the area at Airport Road. Kind of think of that in terms of that type of setting. Again, this is open to the public. This isn't just purely for this node or the residents of you know, the Heron Bay node, even though obviously they can use it. This is open to the public as well. Hence why we gave the additional access there to the north, along with parking space that's found there. And so trading off that school site for a 6-acre park. So then what that also gives you on a total concept side, it eliminating those 60 flex space units for the 54 residential lots, it reduces the residential density from 3.9 to 3.7 units per acre. Adding in the added 6 acres of public park space, and then we also have buffers, which are in between. You see, in between the townhomes to the there it's to the west, which will be at the top, and then there's also a buffer in between these single families and the commercial there as you move down. Added in additional buffers there. That increases your overall open space from 75 acres to 82.5. Or a percentage from 52 to 57%, and then the added future fire station and the 6-acre public park. And gang, that's really it in a nutshell. So with Planning Commission, they recommended unanimously in favor of it. We appreciate staff's recommendation in favor. We had great conversations with them when we submitted the concept plan. They offered up some suggestions of things that we should look at, and we took that into account with the plan. Just ask for your approval on this tonight.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Chad, not talking about what we're talking about tonight. What other, I can't remember, I see a park on here. What other amenities or is this Grayson Park behind here?
It would be basically to the south.
Okay, so what other amenities, can you remember what other amenities this development is gonna have? I mean, I think I see a park somewhere, but is there?
Oh, yes, ma'am. This doesn't really show up well. I'll have to. So you have there's park space here. Obviously, there's a vast amounts of open space all the way throughout. There's amenity area here with respect to the
Clubhouse over there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. So again, that's already.
So that's what I was wondering, if there was an amenity
already
center
built.
already there.
Yes, ma'am. So this is just adding to that, actually
Okay.
adding a
So
large
the
public.
park, yeah, outdoor space.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, now, will that be the responsibility of Spalding County as a park? Or is that going to be the maintenance of y'all? I'm just saying, you're saying it's a public park, so.
Again, the conversation that we had with Parks and Recreation was to donate that to
us.
Parks and Recreation.
Okay, just trying to make
'Cause, yeah,
sure
that's what-
I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
a great thing to have up there. There's really no park stuff up there, so I think it's
We
wonderful.
tried to do 2 soccer fields. That was really what we originally wanted to do, because I guess there's a strong desire and a need for soccer fields, which is awesome. And we tried to make it fit, but just the proximity to 155. We did some berms with a lot of deciduous trees, and just Greg was just like, I don't know, it's still too close to 155, so that's why
Yeah.
we went more of a passive kind of route.
Okay, that's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions?
Is there so we have this planted barrier that we've talked about, both between sort of the east-west or here, sort of that top green line, and
Yes,
then between the commercial and 155.
Yes, sir.
Is there a staff condition already that staff gets to walk through and like approve that? I know that we kind of had that last time. There's going to be a planted barrier there.
As in, evaluate if it's, I mean, you can have an undisturbed buffer and have 3 trees in it, and it's not disturbed, but it's not adequate either. So you're saying
Right.
confirm the field, verify the adequacy of the buffer?
We want you
Yeah.
to do that, yes.
And again,
Yeah. Understood.
magnolias.
Totally understand. So obviously, plans have to be submitted to staff, you know, with respect to this, so that would be a part of those plans that we can work that into the site plans, the construction drawings.
Is that in currently as a requirement of the conditions? Because if it's not, we'd like to make sure that it's added. You're not
believe
saying
so.
no, so I don't know.
It's not.
Okay.
There's currently not, but we don't have a problem entertaining
Sure. Yeah.
plantings.
My only concern would be the problem that we had in Sun City Peachtree is that we thought we had beautiful trees, and then they tore the sidewalk up. So certainly finding out whether or not magnolias come up out of the ground some, and the placement of them as opposed to sidewalks.
Well, if we look here, there's not sidewalks next to where these would be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's
Hence why they would be
sidewalk
perfect.
to what would be, I know this is kind of an odd orientation, so it would be basically to the bottom of
Walk over
those.
there and point to it, Chad, please.
So there is sidewalks on the south side.
And
There'd be a sidewalk there.
What about the sidewalk on 155? Why y'all keep trying not to talk about that?
Because I don't think GDOT's going to let us build a sidewalk on 155.
Didn't we require the people across the street to put a sidewalk over there at Wilson's?
But it's not our
just
yard.
saying.
I don't think that GDOT's going to let us put a sidewalk there.
So that-
Oh, GDOT don't care if you put a sidewalk, as long as they don't have to pay for it. But I'm
It'll,
just saying.
So that'll have to go through GDOT review.
So, and the reason I say that is because we're talking about a couple of hundred houses on the opposite side of the street where Wilson
Yes,
Farms are. And even if they're just walking to the only package store on that end of the county, they will be walking in the road. So hence my concern, because, you know, maybe there'll be one there when Wilson Farms gets here, and maybe Wilson Farms will get here. But in the meantime, you have all of these people living in this area, and their access to the only store is walking on the side of 155. Again, what we gonna do about the sidewalk?
I don't think we can force that to happen, but we can.
Yes, we can.
You think we can?
Yeah, they got it like that.
Okay.
But
mean-
it's, I mean, obviously, it's one of those things that we'll take into account. That's what I was revisiting here.
Well, I feel like, yeah, the development that y'all are doing on this side of the street, we can't base what we're asking people to live in on this side of the street based on a dream we got coming 6, 7, 8 years down the road. My goal is to make sure that the 200 or 300 people that are right here are not walking out of your development and onto the road on 155. So that, I mean, you need to go and ask people and come back to us?
No, we'll speak with GDOT on this. I mean, we're good with moving forward, getting approval on the concept plan.
Okay. That's all I
But
have.
ultimately, it'll be up to GDOT with respect to that.
We want you to support it.
So
I'll make a call my uncle.
we'll have a conversation with them.
Okay.
It just depends on the warrants of it, yeah,
Yeah.
under their regulations.
Any more comments or questions?
Nope.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve application approve the Heron Bay Highway 155 Village Node, new concept plan, and also a request that sidewalks be placed in front of this, development on 155.
And
With-
field
with staff
verify
conditions.
buffers,
And verify
the suitability of the buffers.
right,
Magnolia.
that in my motion.
And staff conditions.
Yeah.
And the staff conditions, okay. All right, do I have a second? All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. Thank you, Chad.
You just tell Brian, you know, you wasn't gonna be able to leave out of here without having spent some money.
I knew. It's
For
no
those of
worries.
you that don't know, Chad used to have David Allen's job, then he went to the city, now he's out on the private sector. So he understands exactly what this is all about and what we were doing. So
David's
thank you.
Doing much better job than I, so, yeah, it's a pleasure working with them, so,
Well-
y'all have a good evening.
Thank you, dear, bye.
Mr. Chair, next up on the agenda is the consideration of the approval of meeting minutes for the meeting held November 20, 2025.
Mr.
Do I have a
Chairman, I'm
motion to
sorry.
approve the minutes? What was it?
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had sent a request in, and I didn't catch this until the end of the agenda. I apologize. I had sent a request in for us to have a brief executive session to discuss, you've got it? Okay.
We'll take that.
Do we need to amend the agenda to?
We
Yes,
will,
we will.
we'll
Let's
amend
get-
the agenda at the end of the meeting minutes, if
Mr.
that's
Chairman,
okay.
are we allowed to approve these minutes as a consent agenda? Can't
I
we
don't have an
approve all
issue with
three of
that.
these at one time?
Make
Yes,
a motion
unless
to
there's
approve
an
all three
objection to 'em.
motions.
All right, let me read them into the record, please. Consider the approval, number two, consider the approval of the meeting minutes for the meeting held on January 22, 2026. Number three, consider the approval of the meeting minutes for the meeting held on February 26, 2026.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the four read minutes, meeting minutes.
And a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Thank you. Do I have a motion to amend the agenda to include an executive summary, executive session?
May I read that into
Yes.
the minutes, please? The executive session will be for, under Georgia Open Meetings Act, OCGA 5014-3, authorized by OCGA 5014-3B1A for the purpose of discussing pending or potential litigation with legal counsel. This session is limited to matters involving legal strategy and advice related to claims, settlement, negotiations, or judicial actions affecting the county.
Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion to enter executive session for the four read reasons.
The second? I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0. We will come back after executive session to
Hang on.
finish the meeting and then adjourn the meeting.
Hold on, gotta wait. There we go. Motion come out of public,
Executive session.
Recession.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, we're back on the regular session. Do I have a motion to adjourn
Motion to adjourn.
and a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. We're adjourned. Thank you all.